We've all been there, you're out on a trail and you come across an intimidating trail feature that simply makes you want to turn around and push your bike the other way. Today, we've been taking a look at all those intimidating trail features and how you can conquer them. First up is the rolling. This is the actual gateway to all the trails. So if you don't go down this thing, you won't be riding any trails at all. It looks pretty steep and it is pretty steep, but it's designed to give you a speed and a bit of flow into the trail. But don't be intimidated by it. All you got to do is just come in with good speed, keep your pedals level, just drag your brakes slightly down if you're not confident, getting your weight back over the wheel, keep your head up and focus down the trail. It's absolute breeze. There's a couple of common mistakes that can happen on the rolling. One of the biggest ones is not getting your pedals level as you're about to drop in. If you don't get your pedals level, I mean nice and flat like this, you can cause a pedal strike just about as you're going to drop in. You go down the ramp and boom, your pedal hits and it jolts you and you lose control. Could end up in a crash just going down the rolling. Next up is not getting your weight back. If you go into this with your weight over the front of the bike, when you meet the transition where the ground comes in to meet the flat, you're going to get a big weight shift forward. Again, could cause a loss of control. Now there is no more intimidating trail feature than the root. This thing can catch you out and have you on your ass in a split second, especially if they're wet. But if you apply the right techniques, roots are definitely not a problem. Now this is typically something you'll find out on the trail. We've got an off-camber bit of trail with roots that are going down there. They've been blown to bits by the bikes going past, taking the bark off, so they're just pure slippy evilness, just waiting to take you out. But the way we're going to tackle them varies, a few different options. One is to come across, pick your front wheel up and form like a mini manual. That way you're taking the front wheel out of the equation totally. You're missing all those roots with the front. The back wheel can slide around as much as it wants, but as long as that front wheel is pointing the right way, you're going to be going the right way. So the bunny hop technique is another classic way of clearing roots. That way you're coming into the roots with a bit more speed, using that first root as a kind of kicker, preloading your suspension before you get there, forming a mini bunny hop. That way both wheels are totally going to clear all those slippy roots and you're going to land down there super fast and super smooth. But what happens if you want to keep your wheels on the ground? Well, here's a few tips for you. Basically, you need to know that the roots are there, but you don't focus in on them thinking, oh my God, that front wheel is just going to slide on there. Because you think that it will. You need to be aware, but look past the object. Also think about the approach angle, what you're coming into it. You need to try and square the root off. So try and turn into the root. If it's facing down the bank, then square it off. That way you're going to get a load more grip off your tyres. You're not simply going to be on the edge of the tyres with an off-camber root, which combined together is just going to slip things out. Square them off, look ahead, stay relaxed. People can often be intimidated by double jumps, but this jump here is no different than this jump here. So this tabletop is actually a little bit bigger than the double we've just taken a look at. Now, I know if I work my way up in baby steps on this, literally rolling up the takeoff onto the top of it, getting used to the kick and the shape of the jump, and work my way up in steps. Literally, I'm going to first jump a couple of feet. Next go, I'm going to give it a bit more speed, a bit more commitment, a little bit more pop and suspension preload. You should see me gain a little bit more distance. Next up, again, just turning those dials up one notch at a time and inching my way across this tabletop. And then once I'm comfortable with getting the whole distance, cleaning it nicely, then I know that I can easily clear the double. So once you master that one, then I suggest you try taking on doubles. And as I say, they can be pretty intimidating. If you haven't got enough speed, you're simply going to land in the gap, maybe in the back of the landing, flip over the handlebars. Or if you're going too fast, you're going to sail past the landing to flat and probably explode and disappear off on the hedge too. But if you're really confident with that tabletop you jump in and the size, you need to take note of that. Then I think look for a double that is slightly smaller than the tabletop you're already confident jumping, then take it to the doubles. Same process, same technique. Some of the lips might be slightly steeper, which will give you a bit more air time, but just work on something slow. Again, it's all bite-sized chunks. Now we've taken it to the limits. This thing is huge. This is a massive double jump, probably quite on the limits of what a lot of you guys are going to be doing out there. But how do you work your way up to things like this? Well, you start in those bite-sized chunks that I talked about earlier on jumping the doubles. You need, again, to try and find a tabletop this kind of size. And if you jump in that with ease, then this is definitely within your reach. One thing I do recommend though, when you do a big jump like this, first jump is obviously commit to it 100%, think about what you're doing, but a thing that we like to call is a safety pencil. So when you go for a jump like this, keep the front wheel slightly higher than the rear. That way, if you are over jumping or you're going to come up short, the bike isn't going to nose bonk the top of the landing and flip you over the handlebars. You're simply going to come into a back wheel in case. It's a lot safer than coming in front wheel or trying to nose it in and find out that you're short. As I say, your front wheel's going to bonk, or if you do the over jump, you've got too much speed, it's safer for the bike to be in this angle to land than that angle. So just think about that entry speed. Once you're confident with the distance the safety pencil is giving you, you've got the height, you've got the distance, and it's time to hit it with a bit more confidence, get the nose in, add a bit of style. Drop-offs can definitely be pretty intimidating, especially if it requires proper drop-off technique. We've always got those ones on the trail you can simply roll down with two wheels on the ground, but this one, if you were to roll down it, you're going to hit your chainring, front wheel's going to stop and going to fire you straight over the front. But drop-offs don't need to be intimidating. This is how you tackle them. First up is the test run. Now this is really important. Just make sure you've got that speed dialed, you're really committed to it, you already know where you're going to land. If you come into it with the speed that you think you're going to need, you can actually focus as you come into that to make sure that speed is right to meet your desired landing spot as well. If you don't take a test run, then you're going to come into this thinking, oh my God, am I going the right speed? You're going to be flustered. And it's really key to stay relaxed and focus and like kind of picture doing the drop in your head before you commit to it. Start on something small, just even a curb height. If you get the technique right, dropping off a curb is no different to dropping off 10 feet. It's exactly the same technique, just require bigger balls to do the bigger drops. Obviously you're going to hit the ground a bit harder, so you need to be ready for that. But first up on this one, as I say, we can't roll it, so we're going to need proper drop-off technique. I'm going to scratch a line so I can actually see my desired line that I'm going to come into it. I visualize the drop, I know how much speed I need to make that landing, and I know how much of an impact it's going to be, and I'm looking further ahead down the trail, just scanning for other things that could cause a problem. Drop-off mistakes, now it's easy to make a few on these. One of the first things is commitment. If you're coming into the drop-off, you need to be committed from 4 or 5 bike lengths before the drop. If you're coming into it thinking, shall I, shan't I, shall I, shan't I, and grab your brakes right at the last minute, it's probably going to cause you to stop, skid, and maybe fall off the drop. And I've been there and it's definitely not a pleasant experience. Number 2 is coming in again with way too much speed. Sometimes when the adrenaline kicks in, you're thinking, right, this is it, and you're coming in, you haven't thought about the whole thought process. You need to slow it down, break it down into little bits, and think really about what you're doing. Don't let the adrenaline take over. Whoa, that's it for today's video on tackling intimidating trail features. Don't forget, there's a couple of things you need to take from today's video. It's about working in bite-sized chunks. Build it up slowly and increase your skills as you go along. And take those test runs too, they're vitally important. But don't forget, you can subscribe to EMBM by clicking the globe in the middle of the screen. But if you want to check out some more videos, check out common drop-off mistakes. That one's over here. Drop some comments in the box below about what you guys want to learn. We'll see you in the next one.